I got it. And welcome, everybody, to the Rippin' the Rack podcast. I am your third leg. I'll always be the third leg of the host, of the Triforce Tri-host, Maki Pins. Confusing the hell out of everybody tonight. I'm doing the intro. On my screen to the left is Timmy Veda, or the legend himself, Tim Matero. What's up, big fella? How you doing?
What's going on, Maki? How are
Nothing
you,
much,
buddy?
big man. All right. And on the right side of my Skype call is the Coastal Crusader himself, Brian Athern. What's up, big man?
What's going on, Marky? It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday as we are filming this tonight.
Yes, it is Monday night. It's around 10:30, so we're at our best for about another 20 minutes or so. After that, it's all going to go downhill.
Grandpa Tim should have already been in bed about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, no, I'm all good. I took my Metamucil. We're good.
You took your Viagra. You can stand up a little straighter, be up a little later.
Well, I don't need Viagra yet, thankfully.
Mix the Metamucil in with a Red Bull tonight, or in with that vitamin water right there.
Got
that
my
ain't
vitamin water,
folks. I don't know what that is. That's that new Bang stuff.
I got my Norditrack. I can give myself a massage during the thing.
Is that
For
like
those
next
of you
generation
without the
shake weight?
Oh, no, this is the muscle.
Oh, the pounder.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that.
Pound me, baby.
For
Pound
those of you
me.
listening to this, you will fortunately not have to see Tim with the massager on himself, and we all know where that has been.
He's just going to melt out of the chair in the next couple minutes. If he does that, we'll keep the show afloat tonight.
We will. Yeah.
It's already off the rails.
So, Mr. Tim, what are we divulging into this evening?
In the world of candlepin bowling.
In the world of candlepin bowling, we've got a few tournaments to talk about, and then we have some questions from our listeners, which is great. We love questions from listeners.
And we do have more than 7 listeners, Calvin and Jason.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
We're up to at least 9 now.
First of all, that's our problem. Why are we listening to Calvin?
We don't.
Calvin, thank you for listening to us, but why are we listening to Calvin?
Because we might be the only couple of people in America that actually like Calvin. I don't know.
I do like Calvin. I don't care what anybody says. He's a good dude.
I do.
I like
way
Calvin.
better, but Calvin's okay.
I don't care what 98% of the American population says about him. He's a good guy.
He is. He's a good dude. And he can kind of bowl sometimes, too.
Maybe a little bit.
He's a good bowler. You can't say anything about that. He's a good bowler.
Oh, no, you could say something about it, but he's still a good bowler.
I just remind him of the time we were up in Fredericton at the Dave Stewart one time, and he challenged Dave Hodge. Hodgie was on my team that year. We used to bring a team up to that called Mass Destruction. All the mass guys, we invaded that tournament. At the end of the day is a long day. You guys know you've been up to that. That's a long day.
Great tournament.
A great tournament run by great people. Beautiful house. I love Kingswood. Calvin decided to step up and talk a little smack to Hodgie at the end of a tournament when everybody was all tired. But one thing I've learned through the years, no matter how tired he is, no matter how just done or baked or whatever Hodgie might be, you do not bowl Dave Hodge or Dave Malahan for money. You just don't do it. Calvin walked up and said, I'll bowl you in a string right now for $100. Calvin left $100 light that day. After Hodgie had a tough day, we had been there all day. The day didn't end very well for Mass Destruction that day. It ended very well for Dave Hodge. I'll say that much for him right then and there. Do not bowl that man for money, and Calvin knows that.
I know a few guys like that you know they could be bowling like absolute dog shit, and the world could be whatever, and all of a sudden, if you'd be like, and I don't care if it's for $5,
right?
All of a sudden, you'd turn, you'd be like, where the hell has this been for 9 strings? Like, you know, for 9 strings, you've averaged 98, and now you go through $1.75. It's like,
stop talking about me. I'm right here.
Brian, you want both money?
I do like to. You know that.
I know you do. I'll bowl you for money.
I see guys doing it down here Monday night after our league is over. Once we get done bowling the 3 strings there, a bunch of the fellas hang out and start bowling dollar boxes on the side. And some of the guys that went like 300, 310, you know, all of a sudden you put $1 on the line and they're dropping double strikes like all over the place.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's some guys, girls, people
People in general, right? You just put
People
some cash on the table and it's a
have
different game.
just this innate ability to take it to a second level, not a Tom Ilsta level or a Craig Holbrook level or something like that, but just a different level when it comes to money. It's just
bowling for gas money or bowling for McDonald's on the way home, I guess
exactly.
It's an important situation. Yo, those double cheeseburgers come in handy at like 11:30 at night when
Yes.
you're driving home. They do come
Yes.
in handy.
We've all had that drive home from a league where it's just like, all right, I'm hungry.
A shitty night. I just need some like comfort food. I just need like 3 or 4 double cheeseburgers in my face right now.
And look, we've all done it. We've all been feeling, froggy, and maybe be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely taking his money tonight. And then all of a sudden you lose a little lighter. I've done it.
McDonald's tastes extra better that night.
I actually did that. True story. I did that to my mother. We were bowling.
Wait.
What?
You bowled your mother for money, Timothy?
Why not?
She birthed you. You're gonna steal her money even in your adult life?
I was like
Betty 19, is a saint.
I was like 19 years old. Bowling at Oxford Hills.
So you were still probably living at her house.
Of course I was. I was paying rent. I just wanted some of my rent money back.
How much you take?
Jeez.
Oh no, it wasn't a lot of money. It was a mixed league, speed league, and I want to say that was the night she set the lane record at Oxford Hills for 5 strings. She never had a string below 130 and never had a string above 135. I think it was 5
Those are
straight.
The best nights.
It was like 5 straight strings in the 30s. I think she bowled like 670, 680, somewhere in that range. And it wasn't a lot. It was like $5, $5 or $10. And I paid my mother.
You should.
When you announce to the entire bowling center, before you even start bowling, you go, I'm going to kick your ass tonight.
You swore at your mother too.
Timothy.
And then took her money.
Well, it's no different.
Shame on you.
It's no different than what I did to Angie tonight. She was sitting in my recliner.
Be careful. She's in the house you're talking about. Right
I know.
Now. Be careful.
No. Tim already said this. He's already getting a hammer upside the head tonight.
So she's sitting in the recliner. This is at like 5:45, maybe 6 o'clock, whatever. And I looked at her and I looked over at the stove and I looked back at her and I said, dinner ain't making itself. What are you doing?
Oh, she gonna kill you. You in trouble.
She looked at me. She just started laughing and she got up and made dinner.
And then Tim vacuumed.
I did. I vacuumed. She asked me to vacuum and I vacuumed.
See, at this point, I'm pretty sure Angie just has a big bubble around all of Tim's obnoxiousness and she just filters it all out. I mean, it's 20 years this week, right, Tim?
21 years on Thursday.
Well, happy anniversary.
I'll be at league.
Yeah. The last time, ladies and gentlemen, Tim bowled on his anniversary. It was a 5-string roll-off in which Tim bowled the first 3 strings, averaged, I believe it was 102, and did not bowl the last 2 strings and went home and had anniversary dinner with his wife.
We were so far out of it. We were 200 pins out with 2 strings to go. I'm averaging 102. I said, we already came in first for the league, the regular portion. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, just give me my dummy score. The last 2, they're like, oh, you're funny as I'm putting my balls away. But oh wait,
not me. I was like, all right, you guys need to figure out what Tim's dummy. They're like, why? He's not leaving. I'm like, oh no, he's leaving.
No, yes, he is. He's going home.
No, he's going home. And I'm like, my dummy score was like I think I was averaging 127, 128.
Yeah, so your dummy score was 118.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, give me that. We almost won, I guess. I guess we almost came back and won.
See, if you left a game earlier and just went home to your wife a string earlier, you would have won. What kind of teammate are you?
I know.
Jesus, come on. My God.
So we got some questions, but let's talk tournaments real quick. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk we got some exciting stuff with the Chicha mixed doubles and the New England knockout doubles. Both are down to the finals, which is fun and exciting.
They just had the semis yesterday down to Marquis Place at Riverwalk. Couple matches of the Chicha.
Yep.
We had two matches here yesterday. The first semifinal match happened here earlier last week with Dean Sullivan and Amy Doobie against Nate Lees and Laurie Lewis. Nate and Laurie won. A pretty convincing match. Dean had a hard time in here that day. Laurie and Amy actually tied, I believe, that day. I think they both went 573 apiece. But Nate versus Dean was the difference maker in that, so they punched their ticket first. Yesterday afternoon, we had Jeff Walsh and Faye Sawyer. They bowled against Mark Carrier, Shannon Scribner from the great state of Maine. And the great state of Maine won that match. Also fairly convincingly. Faye had a tough day. Mark and Jeff, I believe Jeff beat Mark, but
Jeff bowled well. Jeff was 16s somewhere, I think.
Something to that effect. Jeff's been bowling good lately in everything he's been in.
We'll get to that in a minute too when we talk Necco. But
Marky's very happy with how good Jeff's bowling in that tournament.
Him and I are both. He's carried me. I've carried him. It's been a pure team effort on that aspect. But the difference in that match was definitely Shannon and Faye. Shannon took care of business and they punched their ticket. Yep. And then last night, there was Billy Bloom and Nikki McKeever.
That's a great match.
That was such a good match.
Great match to watch. Like I am so glad that I shouldn't say everyone. Most people are live streaming these matches.
Yes.
It's so awesome.
It's for those of us that A, either can't get down there to watch, or B, it's too far away to watch, or C, live in Canada or elsewhere. It's just really cool to be able to actually watch some of this.
This is what's going to keep Candlepin Bowling alive.
Oh, I think so.
All of the streaming, even people just having money matches. Like in Canada right now, like Calvin and those guys are having money matches and they're streaming them because they can't have tournaments and stuff. So
we got to keep up with the times like this. We all got to keep seeing each other. We can't see each other in person at the moment, but the professional bowling will continue. Yeah. And with all these social media platforms that we have right now, they're not just for going on and complaining about an episode of something that you watched last night on TV. We can also use them to keep in touch with each other like they were meant to and keep displaying what we're all good at. This is what has brought us all together. This game has brought us all together. And some of us do it at a very high level where we can have these professional tournaments, stream them to each other, and give other people ideas to run their own tournaments.
Oh, absolutely.
These are seeds that can be planted for the next 5 to 10 to 20 years of going forward, even when all these lockdowns and all these border things are all shut down and we can get back to the way things were, crossing freely and everything else. We still have these platforms where we can have these small little things, these local tournaments, and still broadcast them to everybody so everybody can still keep in touch or bust balls with their closest friends one way or the other. And it's something that we can keep pushing going forward. And this Chicha and the Necco and all these tournaments going forward are a great way to keep us all in touch and keep the pro bowling alive on all these social medias.
I think, yeah, I can't expound on that just because that is what's going to carry us through whatever this stretch is. Because Candlepin Bowling has gone through these stretches before. Before I was alive, you had the 60s and things like that. The 70s, you had a little bit of a downturn, but then it just shot back up in the 80s. I came in my first year as an adult was 89, 90 when I was 18. So shut your pie hole, Brian.
I was 5.
I know you were. You were still taller than me.
No.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, yeah, you were.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, you were. Anyway, so last night's match between, well, you had Sarah Duffy and Freshie.
Yep.
Nick Zufflato, for those of you that don't know who Freshie is. And if you don't know who Freshie is, you can hear him from a mile away.
Fact.
Ask him to laugh or make him laugh.
Yep.
You will regret it immensely.
Against Billy and Billy Bloom and Nikki McKeever. And, of course, you know, Nikki and Sarah are obviously related. So you had a little family whole family get together. You know,
There'll always be rivalry when the two of them step on the lanes against each other. Nancy Vestal was here, Sarah's mom, Nikki's aunt.
Yep.
She was here. Janet Park was in the building last night. Marion Johnson was here. Mario, her husband Elliot.
Yep.
Nick
Norcross was there.
Came in. Like there was some people in the room to come watch the match yesterday. Like it was a big way to close the place down yesterday.
And it was a fun match to watch. I mean, you had some really good draws. You had some tough bowling. You know, you could tell when you got off the head pin. You sometimes sometimes, yes, you're going to get a little bit of a lead, but from my perspective watching, you had to be on them.
The pins have been stiff here. I've made sure not to slick them up in between matches and do things. I wanted everything to be the same, where there have been regular, like the men's Necco that's been here. There's been those matches. There's been I knew the Cheech's semifinals and finals were going to be here. So I didn't want to give one match an advantage over another match. I've tried to keep things consistent. I've kept them clean, but I haven't added anything else extra to it. I wanted everybody to have to come in and bowl well. Yep. And the teams that have bowled better have made it on.
Yeah, it's a tough time of the year to bowl. I real quick, I'm a firm believer weather conditions play a part in scoring. And right now it's warm during the day, and as it cools down, we know the colder it is, the harder pins go. It's that way in every other.
That is a fact in this house as well. I've noticed it for years that it is an absolute
fact. I bet in the dead of winter when it's 2 degrees out and the wind chill's blowing and it's 10 below, that place goes like cement. And you can put all the crap in the world on it you want.
Cement's a comfortable way to put it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
It's just
it's
and
not,
right now it's
not just that. It's also
it's warm, it's cold, it's air pressure.
It's also the temperature in the building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we've all bowled places, and I'll use a perfect example. Academy at the Worlds a couple of years ago. We were bowling on the left side. They had the door open out back because they were trying. They had that portable food in the other room, and so they were trying to get the airflow going. Well, the pins, like you go down to chase pins, the pin would be like 35 degrees.
It would be very cold. You went under the masking unit to grab a pin.
It was
cold. Noticeable 20-degree drop.
And that is going to play a huge part. Mm-hmm. You go up to Bangor, like back in the day, Charlie had the heat on. And the pins would fly.
Like the heat, not the heat on like, oh, it's a comfortable 70 in here. No, it's 90 degrees.
It's hot. You know, it's 75 to 80 before you even start bowling.
Yeah.
But Charlie also knew that he had to have the place warm in order for the pins to fly. Not hot, warm. Hot's a different story because then you got the humidity that does play a part in it as well.
True.
So not so much on the decks, on the approaches.
Yes.
Well, yes.
You have to find a comfortable median between both of them to make ideal conditions. And it's very difficult, especially here in New England where it can literally be 20 degrees yesterday and then it can be 45 sunny.
You get all 4 seasons in one day.
You legit.
Yeah. Necco Doubles, that's down to the finals.
Yes, it is.
Where are the finals for these, by the way?
So we agreed the other night, Dan Schoenad and his partner, Keith Beaupre, they beat Lou Gonchana and Eddie Woodside here last week to advance to the finals. Saturday night, Jeff Walsh and I bowled against Chris Winiaz and Matt Levine at Academy. We streamed that match. We won that match. Jeff and I did in the last game. Matt Levine threw a triple at us. We went into the last game up 47. After him and Jeff were done and Chris and I went up for our final 5, I was up 1 with a ball.
Yeah. I knew it was close going in because I was watching. Yes. I was watching the last, like 4 or 5 boxes, and someone had commented that it was a 1-pin match or something like that.
Going into that half, we were up 1. Yeah. I had a ball, and that's a very precious spot. And we know, like the guys who've been there. It's
tough because he's a wizard.
Well, yeah, yeah, but my accent's better.
That's true.
So no, I've been in that spot, and I'm not saying that you always succeed because you don't. But having been in that pressure spot with the ball in your hand, 1-pin lead, 5 boxes to either win or lose, you remember the times you've been in pressure spots before, and it helps the knees not to be so nervous. It helps you to breathe easier when you're in that high pressure spot. I won't speak for Chris. I'm not going to say, oh, he gripped it too tight. I wasn't even watching him. I didn't see a single ball that he threw that half. I went home after the match, and laying in bed, I watched that last string on like the replay on Facebook. Yeah. I didn't see a single thing that he did. I was 71 in a ball, and I just kept going. 6 fill, 10 bucks, spare 9, make it, spare 8, make it. I wasn't.
You made an 8-pinner? Were they together?
I didn't cherry a single 2-pinner that whole night, motherfucker. It's been getting better. It used to be like 2 out of 10 I would make. It's up to like 5 out of 10.
Look, even Brian made a couple of 2-pinners on last Thursday night where I literally put my phone down because when I keep score because I can't watch Brian because he gives me.
I'm not good.
He gives me. I go into epileptic seizures and shit when I watch him bowl. So I usually keep score like this with my phone. Oh, good shot. So I saw him make an 8-pin and I went. So then he throws the ball and gets another 8-pinner. I said, well, watch this one. And he made it. He made 2 in a row. And I was like, whoa, you made 2 in a row. We won't say where the third ball went, but he did make 2 8-pin drops in a row.
I make 2 2-pinners in a row up at Lita, and everybody stops and acts like hell froze over, like we bowled the Friday Pro League. And so do I. I'm looking at it like, holy shit, this is getting a little better. Okay.
You don't want to hit the head pin on the next ball because you know bad things are going to happen. You won't be shooting a 2-pinner. You'll be shooting a 4-pinner.
Oh, no, it'll be a 2-pinner, but it'll be like an 8-10 with no wood. Yeah. It's like, go ahead and make this one, smart ass.
Yep. But, so we got the Necco Doubles. So it's you and Jeff against Dan and Keith.
Yep.
Where were you guys doing that?
We agreed. I think it was yesterday during the day. I believe it was yesterday during the day. We agreed we're doing it April 25th. Which is not 2 weeks from yesterday as we're recording this. 2 weeks from yesterday at 3:00 at Lakeside Lanes up in Manchester.
Okay.
Neutral site?
Yep. Very neutral. They wanted to go to Portsmouth, and a lot has already been at Portsmouth, and I can't remember a single match even happening at Lakeside yet out of all of these tournaments.
I don't think they have. No. I don't think anyone's been in Timmy's house for one of these.
Dan brought up Lakeside. I messaged Jeff. I'm like, what do you think? And we kind of felt the same way about it. It was like nobody has an advantage. Everybody usually bowls well there. Yep. We thought the same thing a couple rounds ago. We bowled Tim Jalbert and Austin Barnes in the Necco Doubles. We bowled them at Exeter because most everybody bowls good up at Exeter for the most part. So let's go have a match where all 4 of us hit 600 and we all just duke it out. I want a slugfest. I don't want a 520 and a 510 versus a 530 and a 525. I want there to be 4 600s. I want it to be a slugfest, especially in the final.
You know where would be great? If it's too bad it wasn't closer. 1-7-10 in Augusta would be fantastic for these matches.
I have zero problem bowling at 1-7-10.
I know.
Augusta.
I know you
love bowling there.
The pins go great. Plenty of room. It's just I don't know. It's too bad it's not closer to Mass and more people won't travel up there. But
I think if there was more full 1-day whole entire tournaments there, there'd be more action there. Yeah. It'd be really tough to go there for just a 5-stringer to drive like for us anyway, like an hour and a half for one. I would. Don't tell me because
I used to drive an hour and 45 minutes for league.
I would.
Me too.
But most people won't. So
I know, and I know that we've had this discussion plenty of times.
We figured a nice neutral house that everybody bowls well at. There's very few people who have said anything negative about Lakeside. Let's just go there and have a blast, throw a lot of balls, throw a lot of hammers, and whoever slugs it out best is going to win. So we're looking forward to that. April 25th at 3 p.m. It'll be live streamed.
That's cool.
We're going to have commentary. The guy Bob Lee, who's done commentary on other Necco matches and the Outrun the Bear tournaments down in Millis, Mass. at Ryan's Family. Yep. He's going to be doing commentary. He might have a scoring system because he's put up a pretty cool scoring it looks like a PowerPoint presentation, but in some of the Facebook comments of some of these matches, he's put up some.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I've seen that. That's cool.
So,
And I'm happy for Dan and Keith just because I don't know. Look, if I'm being real, I'm not sure if anyone would have picked them to go this far.
No.
From the beginning.
On their side of the bracket, you had many other teams. You had Jesus Christ, you had Sean McKinley and Sean Baker. You had Slinky and Baker on that side.
Yeah.
You had Chris Merrill and Mark Carrier. Actually, I don't know if they were on their side. I think
they were on that. They were on that side, I believe, because I think Nate and I were on your side. I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But like Kenny Mayne used to say on SportsCenter, that's why games aren't played on paper. They're played inside of TVs.
And but that's what I mean is when you have a couple of guys that weren't expected to be there. And they've bowled well to get there.
Yes.
And they've bowled well individually and as a team to get there. It just makes it better in the long term because now they're like, okay, we know we can do this. So now when the next one comes out, you have guys signing up going, well, wait a minute. Yeah, no, this can happen. Anyone can beat anyone. And that's what I've been trying to tell people all along. Anyone can beat anyone in a given day. Especially in a 5-stringer. A 3-stringer or a 5-stringer, anyone can beat anyone.
And it's a doubles match.
So
even if you walk in and you're electrically on fire, you haven't missed a shot all day. If your partner comes in cold, now both of you are just average.
Yep.
If both of those guys come in even over average, one of them doesn't even have to be on fire that day. If they both just come in and putt real good and they both just throw 610s, 620s, and one guy on your team went 660, 670, but the other guy went like 530, now you got a problem. So it's a doubles match. So there's always that unseen element. That's why we love doubles. Most often the guys will say they love a good doubles, whether it's mixed, whether it's men's, whether it's women's. Most people will say they love a doubles.
I think with, and I won't speak for Brian, for me, I think that's probably my favorite match is a doubles match.
I love bowling doubles.
Or mixed doubles or doubles.
Yeah.
Either
the Can-Am. The Can-Am is one of my favorite tournaments for a reason. Like, I really love mixed doubles bowling. I like doubles bowling. It's like, I'm a tag team wrestling mark. I like tag team wrestling. I like doubles bowling.
It adds an extra element into the match that you don't just get from the regular one-on-ones.
Yeah.
You know,
I look forward to the next round of, these types of tournaments. And yes, I know, it's a little harder for the guys up here to bowl in that. I mean, look, let's face it. It was a 3-hour drive for me or 2.5-hour drive for me to get to Exeter to bowl my match when Nate and I bowled. But to me, it's worth it.
Right.
I'll drive to Exeter. I'll drive to Lakeside. I'll drive to Riverwalk. I've never bowled Riverwalk. I'd drive to bowl there.
I've bowled there.
It's why I went down to Millis and bowled in the Pro Series. Well, now 2 years ago, I guess it was now.
And that still is another solid hour and 10 minutes south of here.
Yeah, but had a blast. Loved it. So, anyway, so Cheater Mixed Doubles, we got the Necco Doubles. This Saturday, folks, there is still time to sign up at Stars and Strikes in South Paris, Maine. It is their second ladder match. 5-string qualifier, top 5 will bowl off. 5 bowls 4, winner bowls 3, winner bowls 2, winner bowls 1. It will be live streamed. There will be commentary done by Ripping the Rack podcast. Will be your commentators. If Brian is going to attempt to qualify, if he qualifies, then it will be me, and then I'll pick someone out of the crowd.
Let's face it, we know how Tim will do it. Tim will pick himself, and Tim will sit there and commentate by himself while I bowl.
Possibly. I do like to hear myself talk. I can't help it.
No.
I
Not
know.
You.
No.
I know. It's a
I'm going to make you sit really far back if you do that.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
I will sit where we were sitting before because it just, the funny thing was when I bowled on TV, years ago and stuff like that. I forgot that you could actually hear them talking about the match as you're bowling, because they were sitting just to the right of you and just to behind you. You had to learn to block it out.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while, as Brian and I
don't remember hearing them when I bowled on TV. I don't.
I only remember one time, and I had to turn around. Don Brown, rest in peace, Don, was a radio personality that was doing the announcing for the show up in Augusta.
Candlepin action.
Yep. And he mispronounced my name several times to start.
Mateo.
Yep. Just kept saying Mateo, and I heard it. And then he said something about, he goes, I'm pretty sure Tim looks at the pins when he bowls. I'm a spot bowler. I don't look at the pins when I bowl. So I when I got done, I kind of leaned over and I was like, Don, it's Matero. And he's like, oh yeah, I knew that.
There's an R in there. It's a letter. It's a thing.
There's an R in there.
Chip did commentary for that for a while.
Yep. Yeah. Al Nelson did for a while.
They used to have a cool teams roll off for that, where you would bowl their house team on TV. They had a 5-man team match on
That's
TV.
Cool.
Well, they would bowl the first 2 strings off TV, and then they would come in, and the episode was the final string of the 3-string match.
Yep. The last tournament that we were going to talk about, the Candlepins for Cancer June tournament, which is the this year's iteration of the mixed worlds, minus the world.
The
portion.
mixed nationals.
The mixed Americans.
Right.
I believe that's up to 18 teams right now.
18. I was just talking to Nate yesterday.
That is
cool.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Yep. How cool would that be to get it up to 20, though? If we could get 20 teams.
We're still looking for a lady on Team Exeter Lanes.
Who do you got?
So my team roster is myself.
You're not a lady, Brian.
No,
I know.
I'm co-captain with Deb Regan on my team.
Yep.
It's myself, Joey Lister.
Yep.
Beardo before he shaved it. Now he's no Beardo. Matt Susi.
Yep.
The doctor himself, and super sub of the Candlepin community, Michael Caine from Peabody, Massachusetts. I love Michael Caine. He's one of my favorite people in the whole game. I love Mike Caine.
Mike's a good dude.
Mike's awesome.
Deb Regan is one of our ladies, and we don't have any other ladies. And I know it's late getting towards just the rosters. Many of the rosters are already set. So if you're watching this and you want to bowl in the tournament, and you can hack it for 17 or 18 games, and you want to come and bless you, sir. You want to come and be part of a team, please reach out to me, Mark Ritchie, on Facebook. Send me a message. Ding one of the guys and one of the people I talked about on the team, myself or Debbie Regan. We are looking for 1, maybe 2 ladies.
I thought you guys had another lady.
Unless she did it and didn't tell me.
No. I mean, I thought you guys had one previously that was coming back.
The last time we bowled this tournament was when we bowled in Bangor.
Yes.
During the towel incident year. I'm leaving that alone. Those who were there know. And we were bowling with Kathy Stinson and Cheryl Gooding. Yeah. Kathy Stinson and Cheryl Gooding. They are not on the team this year. We had John Steiner on the team, but he's also not really bowling much, so we replaced him with Joey Beardo.
Yeah.
Or Joey No Beardo.
Joey No Beardo.
Joey No Beardo. Although it's growing back. It's growing back.
I tell you what, he bowled well in Exeter in our Necco Doubles match. Nate and I against him in Norcross.
He has been standout of the year, in my opinion, in the Candlepin community. He has been subbing on Friday nights up at Leda. He wasn't asked to be on a team, but he's been and everybody's kicking themselves in the ass now for not asking this kid, because he's shown up and has been literal super sub on so many teams. I think if his average counted, he'd be in the top 3 in averages in the league right now. He'd be one of the few guys averaging over 116, 117 in that league.
Very cool.
He has been bowling so very well. So when I ever heard he was not on the team and I knew Steiner wasn't coming, I just ran to him and
Yeah.
I was like, "You want to bowl? Would you please bowl with us? Please, 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 please,
No,
please
that's
bowl on that team."
that's a great pickup for you guys.
Yes, but we
That-
are
if-
looking for another woman. If anybody watching or listening to this would like to bowl, and you can hack a pro tournament for a whole, excuse me, for a whole weekend down at Academy Lanes, please reach out to me on Facebook. Send me a message. Email the bowling alley. Email myself, MakiPins@gmail. Email Ripping the Rack podcast at rippingtherack@gmail.com. So I started the outro there. You gave me the intro, so I started the outro a little bit. And I had to
You
stop.
started the outro. We haven't even finished the show yet.
I know, jeez.
Got
I'm
ahead
like-
of myself.
Oh.
I really need another lady on the team, please.
Get meldable.
But no, I asked her. She won't. She's
Uh-huh.
too far out of it. She hasn't picked up a ball in like 3 years.
She's
That's
got
why
time. It's in June.
She has not thrown a ball in years.
You own a bowling alley.
This is a fact. However, she's not interested yet. And you go ahead and try to convince your wife to do something you want to do when she doesn't.
Oh, can I
I
take
got
this
dinner
one?
tonight,
Can
but
I
she didn't
take
want to
this
make
one?
dinner.
I haven't
ahead,
been
Brian.
married that long yet.
No, I was gonna say no. You don't do that.
I can't do that. It's not, doesn't work that way. I love my wife. She has put up with so much of my bullshit and bowling and with the lanes through the years. She has been a saint in my life. There's not another woman I've met my entire life that would put up with the shit she has. To ask her to come back and bowl a professional event in a 17-string round robin tournament right now, she would kill me for real. She would cash in the life insurance policy for real. Riverwalk Lanes would be on the market for real over at the end of the summer. And I like running a bowling alley, so no, I can't do that.
Okay, it was worth a shot.
I've already thought about it, bro. I thought about that idea like a month ago, and I asked her, and she just looked at me and laughed. She was like, "You're shitting me, right?" And I went, "No." She goes,
I wasn't,
"No, Mark,
but okay.
no."
Did she want to get back into bowling? Do you think?
Yes, but she won't admit it yet.
Okay.
Yes,
She's gotta do it
I
on-
know
she's
she
gotta-
misses it. I know
She was damn good.
she was one of the elite. And I
She
don't
was
just say
damn
that because
good.
she was my wife. She was one of the elite
Yes.
in the game
Yes.
at the time. And she hurt herself. She hurt
Yep.
her knee. She tore her ACL, had surgery, waited, healed, did the PT, did all the things, came back to bowling. 2 months later, we were bowling what is now the Tuesday Speed League at Academy, the three-person speed league.
Yeah.
Used to be at Woburn Bowlodrome. After
Yep.
it left the fairway in Natick, the first iteration, it went to Woburn. Her and I were both in the league. We were on different teams. We always did that. We never bowled on the same team together. We always figured we doubled our chances of making money in a league. She was bowling, and I watched her stick and go ass over and land on both of her knees and then roll, and I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And she's picked up a ball maybe twice since then.
Yeah.
But you know what the chick did? When we were doing the Classic Candlepin show here, we had a ladies ladder, the first iteration of the ladies ladder that we did, and she picked up a ball after not bowling in, at that time, 3 years, and proceeded to come out and throw 570 and be like the 3 seed in the ladder. And I looked at her and I'm like, "It's still there." She goes, "Shut up. Just shut up. Don't say that."
So I've tried to get my sister back for years. I'm like, just bowl a league. I'll go up to Augusta. You come up to Augusta. We'll bowl together.
Is she
It's
good?
just
Oh,
My
Karen
sister?
is
I need a woman
so-
on my team. Is she good?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
There is a chant in Maine in the bowling community when Timmy bowls and he gets a mark. It's Karen's better, and it's and sometimes it's not wrong.
So Karen was the best bowler in the state of Maine and top 3 in the world for about 10 years. Back around 1991 to 2001, 2004-ish, sometime in that 10 to 15 year time frame. And then she put her bowling balls away and said, "I'll never step foot in a bowling alley
She
again."
won what 3 straight eliminations and was done.
Yeah, she won 4 out of 5 years, 3 straight. She was Maine Women's Pro Bowler of the Year a couple of times. I mean, just she was. So I have her ranked in my all-time State of Maine list, number 2, all-time, behind Dot Petty. I have Amanda Carroll number 3, and probably we'll be moving her up to number 2, and Karen back pretty damn soon. But no, my sister was.
She would pick you to death.
My sister was an amazing bowler.
Get her on the lanes. I need a tournament bowler.
I've tried, dude. I've tried for 10 years.
I'll pay her.
She's like,
I'll pay her entry fee.
She's like, she has no urge whatsoever. You can
pay
ask
her
any of the
fee, and I'll buy her beers. We're desperate, bro. We're getting close.
Yeah, good thought process. So we do have before we stop. We're not going to get to all these questions today, folks. Sorry.
Let's take a good one.
Yeah, let's pick one good one.
So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Weber. We're gonna take yours, and we're gonna do yours next week. That one we are not doing this week, because I think that could be a longer topic, longer conversation. So
another man with a great first name.
What, Tim?
No, Mark Weber.
Oh.
Great name, great first name, and a great bowling last name too. Maybe not a Candlepin last name, but great bowling last name. You know Pete Weber, Dick Weber.
Yeah.
So
Tim fell asleep. Tim's tired.
No.
Oh,
so
hi.
Here's what we're gonna do. Scotty Estabrooks, we're gonna answer yours next week as well. The one you sent us, we will answer that next week, because that is going to be a longer topic. It's a great topic though. His is a longer question, but it's talking about kind of your biggest letdown moments, meaning.
Oh, you brought that up when we were talking about like highest moment at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Worlds, just in general. But I that is an important topic to talk about. Those stories do need to be told as well, because losing is
on a very special Ripping the Rack podcast.
Yes, losing is a part of the game, and I was always told that you have to learn how to lose before you can win.
It's the truest thing in all of sports.
Yep.
I don't care what sport. It is the truest thing in the world. Anybody can win well. How you lose determines how far you'll go. I teach that to both of my kids. It's one of the first things I started preaching to my son when he started bowling with other people, more than just farting around with me here. Yep. So important.
So we're gonna talk real quickly, because we got about 4 minutes before we're ending. So we have someone on YouTube that reached out to us that wanted to know what are our favorite kind of bowling balls and what are your preferred weight of balls. So
it's a solid question.
It's a solid question because there's a lot to choose from. I'll go first. Brian, do you want to go first? Then I think you actually had to go upstairs for a quick second.
Yeah, I gotta go check on the kiddo.
Yeah.
Real quick. So all time, my favorite bowling balls are the original Epco Reactive U's, not the Pro Urethanes that came out a few years ago. The ones that came out around 2003, 2004, I think. They came in like
green, and mulberry.
Yeah. Yes, those were my favorites. But right now I am using just regular Paramounts. I have 4 different color bowling balls, and they're striped.
What size?
2.7. I do have a set of 2.6s. They are Comets. They are red and white, and I will never get rid of those bowling balls because Kelly bought them for me for our wedding.
That is a fact. You will never lose those bowling balls ever.
No.
Best wedding present ever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian, go check on the kid.
Yep.
Maki, what about you? What's your...
So I am an old school guy. I am not a huge fan of the newer balls that have come out, the newer brands of Paramounts or Cobras or Vipers or even the new Comets. I've not been a fan of them. I find them chippy. Yep. They tend to chip a lot. So I enjoy and always have used older stuff. Right now I have a set of Paramounts, straight regular Paramounts that I've been using that are probably from the 50s, maybe even late 40s, early 50s.
Wow.
Let's put it this way. I put them on the ball rack one day at the Sunday Pro League. Mark Gregory goes, These are older than me. And Mark is not a spring chicken. Now, shout out to Mark Gregory. I love Marky, but he's probably up over 60 right now. And they're an old set of bowling balls.
Yep.
But they take the pounding no matter where they go. I've never been a fan of the curvy curve balls. I like balls that are just the base model. So then I know if I'm curving it, if it curves more than I'm used to, it's me. If it curves less than I'm used to, it's me. I don't like the ball. I don't need the ball helping me. And I am an absolute 2-6 guy. Maybe that's why I don't throw a lot of extra strikes. I'm not a big dude, especially as we get longer into a day. I've been known to switch to 2-5s at Worlds many, many times on like Wednesday afternoon or Thursdays. I'll bowl the rest of the tournament with 2-5s. And the way I see it, weight is irrelevant if I can't be accurate.
Yeah.
So I prefer accuracy and spare shooting over, let me throw the heavy 2-7 and carry a couple extra strikes.
Well, look, candlepin bowling, we all know, is not about how many strikes you throw.
No, it's not.
And it's not even about how many spares you throw.
No, it's not.
It's about your picking of your pins. It's your accuracy. It's your tens. It's you're looking at a 2 and 1, and you know what? You get the 9 instead of the 8. You get, it's these types of things. So that's cool. I didn't realize that you were really old school with the bowling balls and stuff.
Always have been. I mean, I have a couple old sets of Brunswicks I keep on standby, a couple old sets of Manhattans I keep on standby, depending on where I'm bowling. I found the newer stuff is more geared towards the synthetic lanes that are starting to infiltrate the game. And those don't curve as much naturally with the older style like Paramounts or Scorpions. So they've started developing, and it started with like the Tigers and then the Rams and then the Epcos that came out later, and now the urethanes and stuff, the Pro 72s that came out. They were just made of softer rubbers that were designed to curve more. And
you just mentioned like all of my favorite sets of bowling balls ever made.
They curve a lot, and it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It never has.
Yeah.
Just because I don't throw very hard. I throw hard for a small guy, but I rev it really hard. And if the thing's crossing over the head pin all day long, then I've always just had better success with just regular base model Paramount balls.
So I have used for the last almost 30 years a set of white and actually purple striped. People think it's black striped. It's actually purple striped.
Purple.
Comet Pro Rubbers, the original Comet Pro Rubbers.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
They are. I got them in Bangor, a pro tour up there. I walked in, they had them in the case, and I was looking, and Charlie's like, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Well, I kind of like those." He pulls them out and gives them to me. Says, "Here you go." I'm like, "Charlie, I wasn't buying bowling balls." He's like, "Yeah, pay me whenever." It's like, "Charlie, you know that means that I'm probably not going to pay you." And he just he laughed and he looked at me. He goes, "Pay me whenever."
He knows where you're going to bowl.
So
he knows Tim's going to make him probably a decent amount of money in November.
So this was in 91 or 92, something like that, when I got these. I have had many sets of bowling balls since then, and I've always gone back to the white ones. I do like, so those are 2-7s. Actually, they're 2-6-6. They're not 2-7s. They were 2-6-6.
They call that 2-7 nowadays, though.
Yeah, and I have, and I do have, and they stay in my bowling bag. I got a custom color set of the new reactive U's, 2-6s. And I only got them because I was bowling the Can-Am up in St. John, and I was struggling with mine. So I was bowling with Aaron Merrill, and Aaron's were 2-6s. And I went like 430 over the next 3 strings using her bowling balls. I put mine back in the bag, and I used hers the rest of that week. The rest of that weekend.
That's when you just brought your shoes to the alley every day.
Yeah, and then I used hers again in Augusta in their August tournament, and went like 13 something for the first day. And I said, okay, I guess I need a set of 2-6s. And I will kind of like you, 10-string tournament. I will start with my heavier bowling ball, but I will change. I'll go to the light ones.
I change depend on if I'm punching. If I want to start if I have to start shooting splits, I'll go to a lighter bowling ball.
But so it's a great question. Like your favorite kind of bowling balls. I mean, I guess I know some people that don't give a shit. They just pick up a bowling ball and throw it. They don't care if it's Paramount, if it's an Epco, if it's a Comet, if it's a Tiger or Ram. What they don't care. It's round.
I like the blue one.
The blue one's pretty. I'm going to throw that one. So as far as the questions goes, I will tell you Bowler McNuggets. That's who asked the question.
Great.
Find a set. If you're asking like what you should go with, find a set you like. That's all I've done. Is I
try a whole bunch of your teammates' balls. On bowling. See what you like.
If you're a curveball guy and you like throwing curvy curveballs, then you might want to look at something like Scorpions or some of the like.
I'll tell you what
else is out there. Scorpions, Rams.
Yeah,
go on eBay.
The really rubbers.
Go on eBay. There's always bowling balls on eBay all the time. And if you can find a set of Cyclones, Charlie Milan swore by Cyclones. He loved Cyclones.
I just, I'm comfortable with the Pro Rubber, the original Pro Rubber. I throw it harder than some. For a small dude, I throw it pretty hard. But I do put some curve on the ball. I do spin it right to left. I know both you guys
goes right to left, but your ball looks like it goes left to right.
Well, that's the spiral in the ball.
Well, no, that's because you slide left to right. You start on the right.
I slide right to left.
Well, yeah, it looks different when you're looking at it. It's mirrored.
I slide a little bit left, center, left, right, and I throw the ball. I slide a little bit right to left.
Do you have a picture of your bowling shoe and the heel of your old pair of bowling shoes?
I don't know if I have the picture anymore.
I don't know how you ever walked. He wore an entire, probably quarter of an inch out of the heel of his Lynn's bowling shoe. Only one side, though. Just only one side. So it was like this.
So I'd walk like this. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Appreciate you listening. As usual, folks, please send us your questions, comments, all of that good stuff.
Send us your stories.
Send us your stories. Ripping the Rack Podcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast. You will not find us on OnlyFans yet. Still trying to work on these two.
He said
never.
Yet. He finally said yet. So it's in his mind.
It's always in my mind.
He's gonna do it.
Brian, where else can they find us?
You can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcast, Anchor, Breaker, wherever else you consume your podcast media.
Guys, thank you. Don't forget Friday morning, Ripping the Rack Podcast. We will be doing our own internal top 10 comedies that we enjoy of all time, of ever in the history of evers. So, thank you.